actually. I told him that the Mavericks were going to beat the Heat in 6 games.
Uh-huh.
And I really outlined a great reason why. And, you know, you may have noticed with my little performance there on the RSP podcast, I'm a bit of a gambler.
Yes, you do talk about sports betting a little bit, yeah.
I happen to do, you know, it's one of those great things where, you know, like everybody takes like different things from college or like that, but when you spend 7 years in college like that, luckily I made a bunch of mistakes before I was, you know, able actually to have a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm kind of getting the phase where it's like, I kind of like, know how to stay within my means a little bit and do some things here. But that was one of the things I really liked. I really liked the Mavericks on that. I remember telling him that. And what ended up happening is that his producer bet me, you know, kind of on the side. He's like, oh, if the Mavericks come in, I'll let you come to the studio. So I did the one time, and I was going to try and see if he wanted to have me on air. And have you ever seen the movie Howard Stern, Private Parts?
Yes.
It basically was very similar to when he met Don Imus, that kind of scene. Where he just kind of was just like, I don't want to argue with you today, Ryan. I'm not having it. And it was like, oh, come on, man. And he just kind of, you know, just had that tone to him. But, you know, other than that,
my experience meeting Bob Matthews, met him at that Abby Wambach's Brothers Bar. Theo, do you remember? I forget the name.
The Back Nine.
Yeah, the Back Nine. The Back Nine. Yeah. So he was there. I think he was watching like the ALCS or something, right? And I'm like, "Hey, Bob Matthews." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, hey, I really love your show." He's like, "Oh, you should call in sometime." I'm like, "Oh, all right, maybe I will." And then I don't know. I was trying to talk. You know,
doesn't sound like
I ended up actually having a conversation with him about the ALCS. And he was, you know, he was fine. But he's not like, it doesn't seem like he's the most outgoing person in the world, you know, to fans.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't think he's mean or anything, you know.
He never, no, well, I mean, I've heard, I think when he was younger, he might have been a little more, maybe he's warmed up a little bit. I think that's kind of the word I got, you know, from somebody. But, yeah, you know, he's old school. He still likes his baseball. He still likes horse racing. I spends a lot of time at Finger Lakes, you know.
So, Ryan, give us a little glimpse into the SCO Zone. When can we find you? What's your show about? What are you talking about?
I'm currently on a little bit of a hiatus right now, where I was kind of recording at someone else's studio. I'm a real talking is what I like to do, and I really kind of just too lazy to actually sit there. Like when I had the appointment of going somewhere, I could do that. When I have to do things at my leisure time, I always find things I'd rather do more. So I have to actually invest in the equipment to start recording again. But I'm on the ROCpodcast.com, the SCO Zone. I'm also on iTunes. I recommend going back and listening to certain episodes. There's I'm not going to get into the nature, but you get a little more on the bluer side, a little more, R-rated, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Because I get into the life of kind of, not just necessarily the life of, just sports in general, but the life of the gambler.
Okay. So
I kind of noticed that from your set on.
So it's kind of a sports betting focused podcast.
It's kind of a sports, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I also am just topical, yeah. But I mean, obviously I analyze things best through my betting,
Yeah.
I'm very, very big on a baseball.
Really?
Kind of,
that's kind of unique as far. It seems like everyone. Yeah, I'm not a gambler, but it seems like people who do.
What would the best sport to
gamble
be? Would you say? What's the best gambling sport?
The best sport too, I would say, is I would say football is probably the easiest for me. It comes down to, but baseball is the most is probably the best opportunity, or that's what I'm do.
That's what I would assume. Baseball.
Why? Baseball seems like it'd be the
that's
worst.
That's like the classic.
But I guess it's because of the pitcher, right?
That there's so many baseball because you have so many games.
Yeah.
So and you have so much, and they're every day.
Plus,
so
I mean,
really, the thing with baseball is you can kind of spot trends, like little things here and there, because there's different pitchers all the times. Like, for instance, are you guys baseball fans at all?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, man.
Okay, if I told you Jorge De La Rosa at Coors Field, would anything jump out to you?
Absolutely nothing. I don't even know.
I don't even know
Jorge. I'm not that deep into it.
Jorge De La Rosa's numbers at Coors Field, and what you're going to see is one of the best pitchers at his home field.
Okay.
And that's why the Rockies just signed him to a very nice little deal last year. Now, it doesn't make much sense because, in the grand scheme of things, he's not that great. But there are certain things like that. There was also, the Astros. If you notice, with them, they were very, very great against hitting left-handed pitching, So you start noticing these little trends, and you kind of start playing them. And then also just on given matchups, you kind of will do. And I've also heard college basketball just because there's so many games, and they happen so fast that, like, there are guys.
There's a science behind college
I think college basketball should. I would think it'd be easier than the NBA to bet on because more often the favorite's going to win in college. I think, right?
But the thing, no, I don't. I can't. I wouldn't say that. It's just that I think with college basketball, there's more of an intensity. I mean, NBA games. I mean, like you even have cases where the Spurs won a title. You have games where their coach just throws in the white flag, and just says, we don't care about this one. I'd rather lose this game intentionally to put myself in a better position to win the next two.
Well, like the Knicks this year, they're just trying to lose every game. So
they would actually. And the Vegas books couldn't adjust for a long enough period of time because at one point in time, betting against the Knicks was like a 70% winner.
Yeah, I would definitely bet again. And in the NHL this year, it's kind of like the Sabres as well. It seems like if you bet against the Sabres, it's a great bet every time. You're going to win 9 out of 10 times.
But you know what, though? They worked the way around that. Like, I think still for the season you probably have. But because the way the Sabres were perceived going into the season, it was perceived that they don't care. Where you literally were having to risk like $400 to win $100.
Right. And it still is like that, yeah.
And here's the crazy thing about the Sabres is that 2 years in a row they've won against San Jose as like
they'll pull off these strange wins. Like they lost 14 in a row, and then the other night they beat Montreal just out of the blue. Ryan, we're running out of time here. I had you might find this interesting while you're on the line. We are focused on minor league sports.
Yes.
I found this story. Julio Franco.
I was like 50-something now?
Yeah, he's 56. He just signed a contract with a minor league team in Japan at age 56 as a player manager. This was after last year he played for the Fort Worth Cats in some independent league that I've never heard of and hit 222 in 7 games. So he's not ready to give it up yet. So
no, I mean, like, if you're not married, like, you look.
He's got to be married at 56
at least once.
Yeah, probably 4. He's probably on his 4th by now.
Maybe that's the whole reason we start playing baseball in the summertime. Just get a little away time.
You know what he is? He's like he's like Mr. Baseball.
There's also a female.
The guy
on the team.
Did you see that? Remember that movie, Mr. Baseball? The guy goes over to Japan. Yeah.
The crazy thing from what I understand about Julio Franco is that in his younger days, he was a hard partier, and people were worried he wouldn't live till 56.
Oh, my God.
He's playing baseball.
Oh, good. God bless him.
Did you notice the part where they have a female pitcher as well?
Yes. Oh, this team. What's the name of this team? The Million Stars. They play in the 6-team Baseball Challenge League in Japan. They've won 3 championships since the league formed in 2007. Other players on the Million Stars roster are Shinji Mori, a longtime player, who played with the Rays but never signed with the Rays, never played them. And then a girl named Iri Yoshida, a female knuckleballer. That's fascinating.
I bet you. Here's the thing: is that not only do I want to watch that, I want to find out if I can bet on it. That'll just I'm going to Vegas in a few weeks, and that'll just anybody's story.
That's the moment when you realize you're in too deep.
I get this female knuckleballer. No one's ever seen.
Yeah, I got it. She can't lose. I'm telling you.
Pick a winner.
And the best thing is that the game is in Japan, so
right.
you got to get at 4:00 in the morning.
Right. You're just up all night. Just
do you bet on horse racing
9
as well?
cups of coffee, just waiting.
Do you bet on horses as well?
Horse racing as well?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I was actually at the Belmont Stakes this year.
That seems like a bettor's game right
now, that's not the one where you wear the funny hat, right?
It's the Kentucky Derby, isn't it?
The girls wear the funny hat.
Oh, the guy, you can't wear a hat as a guy?
No, you can. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, it's just kind of like, put it this way, it's a good way to spot people that I know I'm not going to have a good conversation with.
Okay. Not even sure what that means, but all right. We'll roll with it. Ryan, thank you for joining us. Check out Ryan's show on rocpodcast.com. The SCO Zone. Do you have a Twitter, Facebook promote, anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Twitter, I'm SCO525, SCHO525. Facebook, I just go with my personal name, Ryan Schofield. I'm an open book, so I don't mind warts and all, showing it all to the world.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon. All right. That was Ryan Schofield. Check out his show, The SCO Zone. There's
interesting character.
Yeah, there's some great shows. We are now officially on rocpodcast.com. So that is our 4th platform now. We are
Awesome.
on, of course, rocksportsnetwork.com is our home platform. Check out all the other great shows that they have on there, including the Big Schmaz. I think a new episode is out, which is good. I'll have to watch that. Orange Crush is a Syracuse Orange show. And, of course, Late Night Sports Radio. Got a couple of great shows on there as well, including 87 Sports Fans. And we are also on InLacrosseWeTrust.com. We are their lacrosse show, which means we should talk a little bit of lacrosse before we go. I know we're over time.
We had a pretty interesting game with the Swarm here, a loss.
Not here. It was in
Well, it
Minnesota.
wasn't here, but it occurred.
The Knighthawks lost 7-6 in overtime in Minnesota. After being down 5-1, they wrapped off 5 straight goals in the third quarter to take a 6-5 lead. Minnesota scores the lone goal in the fourth quarter, ties it up at 8:56. Andrew Suter, and then in the overtime period, Calum Crawford scores the game winner at 2:21 of the overtime period. The Knighthawks offense anemic after reeling off 17 goals against Buffalo the week before at home, getting just 40 shots on goal and just 6 goals. The offense is erratic.
Seemed very
the
hit
team
and miss.
2-3 in last place in the East Division. John,
It's time to
our resident lacrosse expert, what's going on?
It seems like this team just cannot get the cohesion they need. Like I said, there's sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But then even when they work, like the Buffalo game, I mean, they get leads,
but even
they lose
yeah,
leads.
exactly. They were erratic that Buffalo game. They were up 10-3,
and then
Buffalo scores 8 straight goals to take the lead, and then the Knighthawks score 7 straight.
Yeah, it's just very. It seems like they're not getting the cohesion they need, and it's kind of hard to understand why this team is having this kind of start. I think we should talk to somebody about it.
Well, we will. I'll get someone on next week. All right?
I think it'd be interesting to know because they're definitely not playing up to the.
I mean, the good news
standards
is it's only 5 games in. They've got 13 games to go. They're not out of the playoff
No,
race
they're not
or
out
anything
of it
like
yet,
that.
but
It's not anything where it's time to hit the panic button.
And it's not
in
anything really
Rochester,
unusual either.
But it's they're just inconsistent. They're very inconsistent.
The Nighthawks are kind of typically like this too. They start slow. They've been a slow starting team.
We have a message from Soccer Sam.
The Lancers are home Saturday, February 14th at the BCA, 1 p.m. It's Valentine's Day Family Matinee. Free kisses from Lancer players, dancers, and Lancer Louie. Call 872-KICK or ourlancers.com. Feel the kick, baby.
Also, our good friends
kisses.
over at the Rochester Razor Sharks, who have done so much to promote our show. We have an ad on their scoreboard at games, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
They are home again on President's Day, February 16th. That is a Monday afternoon. They are playing the Lynchburg Titans. Tip-off at 1 p.m. Tickets are just $5. What a deal.
Can't
And it
get
is
better than
Kids
that.
Day. They're going to have a bounce house up in the atrium and a whole bunch of other activities for kids. So if you are a parent, bring your kid out, enjoy the best professional basketball.
You know it's going to be a good quality game.
Absolutely.
They always put on a good show.
And they are 10-0 now. They swept their road trip down to South Carolina, Virginia, beating the PD Vipers and the Lynchburg Titans. So like our good friend Jerice Crouch says, they are on their way to accomplishing that undefeated season that they are looking for.
And I think that they will have no trouble doing it.
Absolutely. So go check out our friends at the Lancers and the Sharks. Also got to tell you about some other sponsors. First, we can't forget about this. At the Rock Podfest, I did say that we would pick some winners for a pair of Lancers tickets and also for a
pizza.
Pizza.
Delicious Salvatore's large pizza.
A delicious. John, how good is Salvatore's pizza?
Man, can you get a better slice in town? First of all, the slices are the size of your head. Doesn't get any better than that.
No.
No.
And Soccer Sam literally says that on his
as big as your head.
Right. Anyways, our friend Theo in studio, do you have the hat? Can you pick a winner out of the hat? Hold on.
Do you have the drum roll?
All right, tell me when you're ready.
All right, here we go.
All right, tell me when you're ready. Okay.
Drum
roll.
roll. All right, the winner is Red Thunder Retro.
All right.
All right, Red
Congratulations,
Thunder
Red Thunder
Retro.
Retro. You have won 2 tickets to the an upcoming Lancers game. And we're going to pick one more. Let me do this. This one probably works.